This is all going according to plan. This is ideal. Caitlin Clark is holding up her end by being awesome and by being a trash-talking jerk on the court. Love it. Her teammates are holding up their end by having her back. The other players in the league are holding up their end by not liking her. Perfect. Couldn't have written a better script. Caitlin is talking trash to this girl. This girl's hard fouling her. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham, who got a black belt in Taekwondo at the age of 6, she's like, I will F you guys up. All of it's great, and Caitlin's a killer. 10 out of 10, no.
And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
You think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
That's about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball. Let's talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull away in the second half, Caitlin in particular?
We're going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's go!
That's pretty exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
What do you think, again, in the second half?
If you're enjoying our content, please hit that subscribe button, because what just happened in the WNBA isn't just a scandal. It's a seismic exposure of everything wrong with the league. What makes Pat McAfee's response so devastating isn't just the righteous anger in his voice. It's the surgical precision with which he dismantled not only Marina Mabrey, but the corrupt, cowardly ecosystem that enabled her behavior in the first place. McAfee didn't merely condemn a cheap shot. He condemned a broken league, a complicit commissioner, and a media class more invested in protecting narratives than players. He pulled no punches. And why should he? What we're witnessing isn't basketball. It's organized chaos wrapped in a professionally branded package. A league that markets empowerment while standing by silently as its most valuable asset. Caitlin Clark gets assaulted game after game. Let's be clear. No one is suggesting Caitlin Clark is manufacturing this drama. She doesn't need gimmicks to draw national attention. She is the attention. But what about the rest of the WNBA? The ones desperate for headlines, desperate to stay relevant. For many of them, the quickest path to the spotlight is through Clark's body. The formula is simple. Hit her, taunt her, maybe even injure her, and suddenly your name is trending. It's not a coincidence anymore. It's a tactic. And then there's Sophie Cunningham, a black belt in Taekwondo since age 6, who has now, unofficially but undeniably, become Caitlin Clark's bodyguard. That tells you everything you need to know about the state of the league. When your star player needs an enforcer just to get through a game, your sport is no longer professional. It's theater. A bad theater at that. When Pat McAfee said definitely the W. Especially if Sophie Cunningham is going to continue to fight people for messing with Caitlin Clark. He wasn't exaggerating. He was exposing the truth no one at the WNBA office has the guts to say out loud. Caitlin Clark is being targeted, and no one at the top is doing a damn thing about it. Last season, Clark was getting shoved, elbowed, and blindsided, and nobody came to her defense. This season, the fever brought in Sophie, and suddenly opponents have to think twice before throwing punches. But that shouldn't be Sophie's job. That's the job of officials. That's the job of league leadership. That's the job of Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. But Engelbert, she's been silent. Definitely silent. The real scandal here isn't Marina Mabrey's thuggish behavior. It's Cathy Engelbert's complete failure to lead. She spent over 3 decades climbing the corporate ladder at Deloitte, but apparently business acumen doesn't translate to moral courage. Her refusal to protect Clark is not just a professional failure, it's a personal one. Let's not forget, Marina Mabrey wasn't reacting in the heat of the moment. Footage shows her not even looking at the play. She had no idea what was happening. But the moment she saw Clark in range, she struck, not in defense, not in basketball flow, but out of jealousy, spite, and desperation. It was personal. It was her moment to say, "How dare you, Caitlin Clark? How dare you come into this league and steal my spotlight?" Every time Clark gets blindsided, every time the refs swallow their whistles, every time these thuggish tactics go unpunished, Engelbert's silence becomes more incriminating. She's not just turning a blind eye. She's enabling the behavior. She's allowing the league to turn into a parody of itself. Professional wrestling with worse acting. And what happened next only confirmed it. The WNBA didn't issue a flagrant foul until after the public outcry reached a boiling point. That wasn't justice. That was PR damage control. And when Marina Mabrey responded by saying, Every time they comment, "I make money," it shows just how warped this system has become. This isn't just a crisis of leadership. It's a moral collapse. And if Commissioner Engelbert's silence is criminal negligence, then ESPN's Monica McNutt's ongoing smear campaign against Caitlin Clark is something even worse. It's journalistic malpractice. McNutt isn't covering the truth. She's manufacturing deflection, while Clark takes elbows and shoulder checks. McNutt crafts narratives to make the victims look like villains and the aggressors look like misunderstood competitors. So ask yourself, who's really under attack here? The league's most popular player or the truth? Because this isn't about one play or one game or one foul. This is about a league on the brink of implosion and the people in charge. Who'd rather protect their egos than protect their players? The WNBA's rotten core, corruption, cowardice, and the assault on Caitlin Clark in an era where journalism is often replaced with activism and analysis gives way to agenda. Few figures illustrate this decline more vividly than ESPN's Monica McNutt, a media personality who has built a career turning every Caitlin Clark highlight into a social justice referendum. McNutt somehow managed to watch Marina Mabrey assault Clark and emerge from it complaining that people care too much about fouls in sports. Her appearance on The Daily Show said it all. "Are we really leading sports coverage with a foul in sports?" she asked, as if a blatant, malicious hit on the face of the league wasn't worth more than a passing mention. This is the same woman who has spent months arguing that Clark's rise overshadows other players, but apparently violent targeting of that same player, that doesn't lead anything. This isn't journalism. It's advocacy wrapped in Fox objectivity, and it's poisoning the discourse at its root. McNutt and her ESPN peers have constructed a bizarre narrative in which Caitlin Clark is simultaneously the most protected and most persecuted athlete in modern sports. According to them, Clark has it coming because she dares to talk trash, as if verbal competition, a staple of sports, somehow justifies physical violence. That line of reasoning isn't just absurd, it's dangerous. And the Marina Mabrey incident, it isn't some isolated outburst. It's the latest symptom of a league infected by institutional rot. Recent reports allege that 3 WNBA referees were fired after a bribery investigation, stemming from a highly controversial Indiana Fever versus New York Liberty game. The officiating was so brazenly one-sided that fans demanded a replay. The league's response, a vaguely worded statement about integrity protocols. No direct acknowledgement, no responsibility, just more smoke, mirrors, and silence from a commissioner who seems allergic to accountability. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, a 33-year veteran of the corporate world, was supposed to bring professionalism and structure. Instead, she brought cold, detachment, and cowardice. While players like Mabrey throw punches, Engelbert sits on her hands, counting ticket sales and avoiding microphones. Fever head coach Stephanie White said it best: "Everybody's getting better, except the officials." But this isn't just about bad referees. It's about a league that has abdicated its most basic duty to protect its players, apply its rules, and preserve its integrity. And when that fails, players like Sophie Cunningham step in. Cunningham, a black belt in Taekwondo since age 6, and a former high school football kicker, has now become Caitlin Clark's unofficial bodyguard. When she took down J.C. Sheldon with what analysts described as a bear hug takedown, it wasn't a basketball play. It was a warning. In a lawless league, justice sometimes requires force. The WNBA's response, Marina Mabrey, who blindsided Clark, received a technical foul, later upgraded only after social media outrage. Cunningham, who retaliated, was immediately ejected and fined. That double standard sends a clear message. Assaulting Caitlin Clark is low risk. Defending her is high cost. That's not justice. That's a rigged system. And what's most revealing, Mabrey's complete lack of remorse. When asked during a live stream about her hit on Clark, her reply was flippant. "Damned if I do, damned if I don't." That's not regret. That's entitlement. Her sister even posted the assault online with the caption, "Another day of us watching Marina do crazy SHT asterisk while their mother laughed in the background." This isn't competitive edge. It's a family celebration of violence. Even the Connecticut Suns head coach tried to gaslight the public, claiming Mabrey was just trying to separate players. That's not just dishonest. It's delusional. There's video. There's context. There's intent. Let's be real. If this happened in The NBA, it'd be everywhere, but in the WNBA, we're told to stop being soft. We're told Clark deserves it, and yet, through all of it, the assaults, the corruption, the silence, Caitlin Clark keeps doing what she's always done, letting her game do the talking. In her return from injury, with the world watching, she dropped 30 points, hit 7 threes, dished 9 assists, and pulled down 8 rebounds. No whining, no theatrics, no social media drama, just basketball. Her response to all this? Dominance. While the league creates chaos around her, Clark keeps her head down and makes the noise irrelevant. The more they try to drag her into the mud, the higher she rises, and fans see it. They pack arenas. She sells out stadiums faster than Taylor Swift or Morgan Wallen. She is, without question, the biggest draw in women's basketball and possibly sports. And yet somehow, she's the one being villainized. That's what makes Pat McAfee's takedown of Mabrey so powerful. Because it wasn't just about one cheap shot. It was about a league that's losing its soul when the most vocal defender of women's basketball is a former NFL punter, not the WNBA commissioner. You know the system is broken. The WNBA now stands at a crossroads. It can continue down Engelbert's path, a road paved with corruption, double.